Yeah. Well, there used to be when back in the 70s, it was a big thing where they had parents without partners, and that was and basically that was like a meat market too. Okay, whatever. I mean, I think they still have them around now. Whatever. My mom went out with a guy. Let me turn this around. I mean, let me get. Oh shoot! No. There you go. Uh. All right, man. Whoops. Uh. My mom went out with this guy named Brett. His father was a minister. He was an author, and he was from England. And he knew Charles Dickens. They were like hooty tooty, and they knew each other from my church, St. Peter's Church in Marshtown, New Jersey, Episcopal Church, whatever. Yeah. And again, the camera didn't break, and that's a good thing. All right. Anyway, but and my mom thought he was bi, okay? Because sometimes the way he was dancing, he danced like weird, whatever. And I mean, we had activities in my church like like square dancing, and we had plays and town shows and whatever, and all that stuff. But they were very rich. Okay? Brett was very rich. And Brett had a older brother named McVicker. Okay? He was mentally challenged, retarded, whatever, all right? Yeah, and plus he used to hang out with this guy, a black guy named John Pinkman. Okay, he was a part of our church too. But let me think. Yeah, I can tell you. All right, he had to rehearse for a play, right, or a talent show, or whatever, and he was doing this narration, right, and he would be like, and I forget the skit. He was supposed to be like an old woman, but this one part he kept on saying, a 79-year-old woman. Like, okay, all right. So, yeah, John Pinkman is black. Anyway. But he was like a father figure to me. Okay? And we used to go bowling a lot. And McVicker, even though he was mentally challenged, retarded, and all that stuff, he would bowl. I mean, he was a good bowler, even though he wasn't like the typical, bowling, stance and all that stuff. But we had fun. And Brett used to take me to Broadway shows in New York. I love Broadway shows. And so this is gonna be funny, real quick. My mom, for a present for Christmas by Brett, was a electronic roulette machine. Where it had the lights go around and around, and it was it's supposed to be like the ball. You know how a roulette wheel is? Well, yeah. Yes, I'm fine. I know all about hydration. Um, so Brett got hurt this game, and I asked my mom about if she remembers that. She doesn't. But this Christmas, he got her, Brett got her that roulette machine, and my grandparents would go over to say the neighbors for New Year's Eve. So that New Year's Eve, Brett and my mom and me would hang out. Right? I know. And it gets hot in here with all these lights. Okay? It does. With all these lights. Believe me. You'll see sweat and everything. Like it gets bad. It really does. Anyway. All right, so so he came over and stuff. Now, my mother used to love Kahlua. Kahlua liquor is a coffee liquor, right? And she used to make sombreros where it's like it's Kahlua and heavy cream and ice, and you know, all right. So she made me a couple along with Brett, right? And we were playing the game, whatever. All right. So apparently Brett got all drunk. And so when it was midnight, yeah, talk about the wildfire. And so, it was midnight. Happy New Year. So my mom and Brett went on the couch, and he was really drunk, and my mom says, "Vicky, take a picture." And I did, so when it came time for, when it came time for like the countdown, 2, 1, Happy New Year's. Well, he grabbed my mother and tongued French my mother. Oh, wait. Now I hear the kids. I can't even. Yeah. Like really hard. Like, and here I am with a camera. Like, what? They were the Kodak disc cameras. Yeah. And so yeah, it was like just, oh my God, I guess he was trying to prove to my mom he wasn't bi or gay or whatever. Anyway, but my mom said Brett wanted to marry my mother. All right, but we would have to move to the old mansion in Morristown, New Jersey. Okay? And whatever. But that mansion that Brett lived in, his father and his brother lived in, it was haunted, okay? Haunted. Now, back in the day, olden times and stuff, if somebody rich died, they would lay him out, not in a funeral home, they would have a wake in their house. Well, his mother, there was always an old picture of, Brett's father's name was, I said Father Langstaff. He was a minister and all that stuff, all right? All right. I know this is hard to follow at times because I just, all right. But in his study, like we were all bookstore or whatever, he had this old picture of his wife that passed away. And that picture, I swear, it looked haunted. She looked like a real. Anyway, all right. But we would go over there, and some of my friends and I would go over there at times. And Father Langstaff, when we would be having dinner over the weekend or whatever, he would talk about these fairies that come out at night. And Father Langstaff would scare the hell out of us. What is this? Oh, look, there's a fairy. Oh, look, there's a... And my girlfriend, my best friend, Cheryl, and I ran to the bathroom, and we didn't even want to get out of the bathroom because he scared the heck out of us. My mom, we were in there for like 20 minutes. And my mom had to get us out, like basically pull us out of the bathroom. Because the way, fairies all throughout the house. Yeah, there were fairies, all right. One of them sitting right at the table. So my mom said that Brett wanted to marry her and moved to this mansion, okay? And all that. But he wanted me in a boarding school. He didn't want me going to no public school in Morristown. He wanted me to go to a boarding school. And my mom's like, no, she's not. No. And that's, right? So, I don't know what happened. I guess, Brett and my mom got in a fight. All of a sudden, there was no Brett. We didn't go bowling, whatever, right? So all of a sudden, I get a letter, right? So my mom hands me the letter. I open up, I open up the letter, or I open up the envelope. It was a wedding invitation. It was a wedding invitation. Can you guess whose wedding it was? Brett. And it was like a couple years, time flies and stuff. I guess it was a couple years or whatever, right? So, here's the kitten. Here he goes. Can you see him?